This week I desire to speak to you about the rejection. As a matter of fact, which of us can say that they have not been rejected by someone, not been suffered rejection from a group of people? Which of us has not broken his heart over being rejected by someone whom he or she loves? Which of us has feared being dumped by our lovers? Which of us has not feared being ostracized and cast out from the group? A deep fear, a fear that haunts every human being. We don't want to be, we don't want at all to be rejected by anyone. All that we want to do is to be accepted and be one with the group. And therefore, I took this topic because it is too hurtful. The pain is too much. After years of being rejected, our hearts become numb, and then we just go on. Is there a possibility to get out from this rejection? Is there a way out? Is there something we can do about it? Let us look at the lives of great people, like the great mystics, the holy ones, the founders of religion. And in our case, we can look definitely at the life of Jesus. Jesus was one that was really rejected right from the early moments of his life. All that Jesus did was good. He was very good. He loved others, he cured them, he took out their diseases, and yet he was hated and rejected. First by a few, then a few more, and then a few more. And a time came when even his disciples said, "Okay, we just will not follow you. This is too hard for us to follow. We are going." Then he looked at his apostles and he asked them, "Are you also going to leave me?" What would have happened, I sometimes imagine, if they would have said, "Yes, Jesus, we are also going. We don't want to do anything about you." But actually, before he died, that's what they did. Even Peter ran away from him, betrayed him in his own way. And there he was hanging on the cross alone. Only his enemies and the soldiers, brutal soldiers surrounding him, waiting for him to breathe his last. But I cannot say that his mother wasn't there. His mother was there, and Saint John, his favorite disciple, was there. But he had this rejection. And if you ask Jesus, how did you deal with rejection, and he may give you an answer which I think you should accept. And the answer is, he took a little child and he put the child in the middle of all those grown men, and he said, the question was, who can enter the kingdom of heaven? And then he says, if you can be like this little child, you can enter the kingdom of heaven. So that means you can have perfect peace, you can have perfect joy, you can have perfect happiness. All you have to do is to be like this child. Simple? Not so simple. What is the main quality of the child? The main quality of the child that makes us love the child, love the baby, is the innocence of the baby. The baby is always innocent. It has never done anything bad, and it never looks at anyone judging them. It smiles lovingly at its mother, and it smiles lovingly at the criminal at the next moment, because it has not judged the criminal as someone to be hated. It accepts them. And this is a picture of God. God is innocent. God has not done anything bad. God is not guilty about anything. God has not rejected anything. God is perfect, perfect innocence. And so, my dear friends, let us ask this question first. Which of us is innocent? Which of us has not rejected our mothers and fathers in a small way or in a big way, or maybe totally? Which of us has not rejected his brothers and sisters? Which of us has not rejected his friends and neighbors and benefactors? Which of us has not rejected whole groups of people? We don't like certain colors of people. We don't like certain hairdos of people. We don't like certain religion of their people. We don't like certain mannerism. We don't like certain customs. And so all those people with those type of customs, with those type of colors, with those type of races, we have rejected. We have rejected huge parts of the world. You and I rejected them totally, and yet we are hurt when others reject us. Which of us has not rejected another for no reason at all, except to be with the in crowd? We are therefore trying to say that we need to come out from this circle of rejecting somebody else. Going a little further, I would like to say, which of us, as we look at our faces in the mirror and look at our bodies, has not rejected the body? In one way or the other, we have rejected. Some of us look at our face and we say, we don't like the cheek, or we don't like the nose, or we don't like the color, or we don't like the hair. In fact, we keep on changing the color of our hair. We keep on changing our hairstyle. Sometimes it is long, sometimes it is short. So we reject our hair, we reject our ears. We want our ears to be good, and so if they're not good, we try to pierce them. We put a ring here and a ring there because we are not happy the way we are. We have to add something, we have to diminish something, we have to take off some weight and we have to put in some weight, we have to put in some abs and we have to take out some babs, and the whole displeasure of our life against our bodies. We are fighting against ourselves, telling our bodies, come on, come up to the mark. Do we have to do that? Do we have to reject ourselves? And deeper as we go, we have rejected our minds, we have rejected our emotions, we have rejected the way we are. And this deep rejection is shown the moment we can say, I really cannot live with myself. There are so many people in this world who go around like zombies, and deep inside they are afraid of living with themselves because they have rejected themselves. Self rejection is the greatest form of evil in this world. There's no greater hurt that we bring about ourselves when we have rejected ourselves. And when we have rejected ourselves, we actually are rejecting the God who lives in us. And that God, that innocence is crying out, why have you rejected me? What wrong have I done? There's a part of innocence in all of us. There's a part of a baby that is in us, and we go around in life with that baby crying. Our little baby who was innocent once upon a time is crying, why have you rejected me? And because sometimes this cry goes on for too long, people then end their lives. They have rejected themselves. Let us come out. Let us come out from here. Look at ourselves and say, I am going to begin to love myself. I am going to take away the rejection that I have for myself. I am going to build myself up the way I am. There is nothing wrong with me. In fact, I am beautiful. I am loved by God. I am made according to His image, and that is where I would like to be. My dear friends, let us not stop there. As we go out and we begin to love ourselves, a kind of a freedom comes into our lives, because you are freeing yourself from your own self-hatred. You are freeing yourself from your own self-rejection. Only you can do that, and having done it, you begin gradually seeing the love in others. You begin to take away the rejection that you have for others, and they come closer to you, and you get closer to them, and at that moment love begins. Not a love that you know so far, but a kind of a brotherhood, a kind of, I am like you are like me, we are both suffering from the same disease, and therefore I am so glad that I met you. Let us get on. I will help you to get out from your problem as you can help me get rid of my problem. That is love. And in that, rejection slowly goes away and we become innocent. So innocent that we begin to extend our arms to each and every one. We no longer look at others with condemnation. We don't longer hate some groups of people because of their color or race or kind or anything. We just say, yeah, they are like that because of what they have gone through. I know what it means to be like that. And then you become like Jesus, who became like man in order to save man. Then, when you become like the other in order to show him love, at that moment